The Bears are making moves ahead of their Week 9 game against the Cincinnati Bengals. It is a must-win for the Bears. What does this mean going forward and into the future? Welcome to Bears Digest, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Dylan Guinzy. Thank you for joining me once again. If you have not subscribed already, please make sure to do so. We are still up at that 91 percentile in terms of folks that are watching that are not subscribed. So it is very easy to hit that button and that bell to stay up to date on all Bears news, rumors, updates, everything that you can think of. We're going to be here with it all week, every week, rain or shine. We're going to be here with it. So be sure to hit that button to stay prepared. So today, guys, we have had a flurry of moves over the last 24 hours for the Bears. Some of these are not what we expected. So we're going to go over that information, of course, and all the information there is to know going forward, heading into the trade deadline after this week's game against the Cincinnati Bengals. That is going to be on November 4th at 4 p.m. Eastern. So the Bears have until then to discuss any trades, finalize any trades, and make that happen if they're looking to improve this roster even more. Obviously, right now, the pressing needs are corner and edge and D-line overall. So we're going to discuss that and some additions that have been made and changes that have been made here this week to the roster ahead of the game. So we will pop right into it, ladies and gentlemen. The Bears are signing former Miami Hurricanes defensive end Jonathan Garvin to the practice squad. That was from Tom Pelissero this morning. Jonathan Garvin, obviously not going to move the needle in any sort of way. This is your typical Ryan Poles signing a guy that has not played in the NFL in almost 4 years. He has been around the block, played for the Packers, 49ers in preseason fashion, I believe. But nothing too crazy in terms of this addition. It looks like they are just getting bodies to this practice squad and to this team just in case they do need them. I would envision they sign another guy as well for more practice bodies. We had Shamar Turner get hurt. He's done for the year. And Dominique Robinson, he is done for a little while as well. So they need bodies to fill those spots. Obviously, they're not going to be as good as those players, and those players weren't very great to begin with. So Ryan Poles is, kind of just filling this practice squad out. Nothing too crazy here. A little bit of background on Jonathan Garvin himself. He was a 7th-round pick of the Green Bay Packers in 2020 after a solid career for the Miami Hurricanes. He played sporadically during his first 3 seasons, collecting a sack and a half in 2021. Has not played in an NFL game since 2023. I believe that's 2022, actually. It's pretty clear the Bears view him purely as depth, which isn't a surprise considering Austin Booker was activated from injured reserve. So, yes, we're going to get into Austin Booker as well. Returned from injured reserve. This is a much-needed get back for the Bears. He had until today to be cleared or activated off of IR, or else he would have been out for the entire season. Ben Johnson stated yesterday in his press conference, October 27th, that they were going to be activating Booker off of injured reserve, and he's going to hopefully play here this week because we certainly need him and any help that we can possibly get to this defensive line and to that edge rush. The edge rush was horrific against the Ravens once again. Their offensive line has not performed well this year and is not very good overall. And I think they had a total of like 5 pressures or whatever it was. It wasn't good. Montez Sweat had a sack, but other than that, it was not good across the board, and it hasn't been good for quite some time. So you can thank Ryan Poles for that. He's been atrocious in that category, even with overhauling the defensive line. The signings of Grady Jarrett and Dayo Odunze, they have been putrid at best. And it has been pretty horrific to watch from Ryan Poles' end of things. On that topic, with Dayo Odunze, he signed a 3-year, $48 million contract with us this offseason. At the time, it did not make sense. It still doesn't make sense now. He's not a very good player. I don't know what Ryan Poles sees in this. I don't know if this was Dennis Allen saying he liked him. Whatever it is, there is no excuse for this contract to be on this roster and not performing. He has 0.5 tackles for loss per game, 1 sack that came on like the second play in that Vikings game because J.J. McCarthy could not even see his toes in front of him. He was absolutely awful. So Dayo just kind of lucked into 1 sack there. Nothing since. 7 hurries, which is bottom of the league in the NFL, and 9 total pressures, which is terrible as well. For the money that he's getting paid, he's abysmal. And everybody, including the most basic fans like myself, knew that this was a bad signing in March. Um, and you had Josh Sweat out there, of course, but with free agency, those guys have to choose your team too, right? Totally understandable. I don't think Josh Sweat was ever going to choose the Bears, so I'm not saying that. But there was guys out there that were better and more productive than him, and you go out there and you sign him to that contract. I can understand maybe if it was, 5-6 million bucks a year, something similar to like the DeMarcus Walker contracts we had previously. But no, they signed him to this big contract, and he's just as bad as he always has been, right? Like he's never been great. So a bad signing there from Ryan Poles and the Bears. On that note, the other need that the Bears have here is the cornerback spot. Obviously, with Tyreek going down, Kyler Gordon going to IR, Jaylon Johnson already out, Terrell Smith is out for the year, and Zoff Frazier is not even playing this year. So that's basically your top 5 corners that are not playing right now for your team, and you can't just sit there and sit on your hands and just think that you're going to be okay, which is what Ryan Poles seems like he wants to do at this point. But we're going to see what we're working with leading up to the deadline. If you guys didn't see already, the Rams traded for Roger McCreary yesterday from the Titans, a serviceable, above-average starter in this league at corner, and that was just a late-round pick swap for that player. And never heard any interest on the Bears' end. Possibly when they talked to the Titans about Jeffrey Simmons on the defensive side of the ball, maybe that was discussed, but now, obviously, they didn't pull the trigger. That's an easy trade to make if you're just looking to improve your cornerback room. He's obviously better than Nick McLeod, who we're trotting out there right now. He is better than Nahshon Wright as well, even though that's, Nahshon is not our biggest issue right now. But that improves your depth in your, cornerback room going forward, and they failed to do it. So here are some free agents that are out there right now that would be better than what we are currently working with. James Bradbury, Kendall Fuller, Stephon Gilmore still out there. A couple other guys to be mentioned. Asante Samuel, I believe he came off of surgery, so that might not be the best option, even though he is a serviceable corner. But there's options out there, and they are not doing anything. Just to put it in perspective, the Steelers had an injury to Deshaun Elliott, their safety, in Sunday night's game against the Packers. What did they do the next day? They tried out 3 safeties that were veteran free agents, just like this, just like the cornerback market that you're seeing here, and they're probably going to sign one of them to the active roster pretty soon. Like, that's what you do. If you have injuries and you have guys that are not playing on your team, you cannot just trot out these guys that are future real estate agents. No disrespect to real estate agents, but future guys that are not in this NFL, or not in the NFL, in very, much longer, and you're just trotting them out there to cover Jamar Chase and T. Higgins this week. It's absolutely disrespectful to everybody watching those games as Bears fans, and it's just overall bad roster management by Ryan Poles. So, there's guys out there, and there's, easy trades that can be made as well. Ryan Poles can't draft anyways in the late rounds, so might as well throw a pick out there to get a player that is a proven decent commodity that can play on your team. So we'll see how that is going forward. But obviously, they have made a couple of moves so far, signing the edge Jonathan Garvin and getting Austin Booker back, and he's now to the active roster. So we have a couple of moves that are being made there to, at least help out the depth in the defensive line room, and hopefully Austin Booker can provide a spark that we very, very much need. So the final thing that I want to discuss is a recent tweet from Jordan Schultz here this morning. Another name to watch on the trade front is Giants edge Kayvon Thibodeau. He's under contract for another year after this season, but some around the league have wondered whether he's a part of New York's long-term plans and if he could become available with the Giants sitting at 2-6. Teams are actively exploring the pass rush trade market, but movement has been slow, in part because there are so many available options. Again, just stating it furthermore, there's a lot of edge options that are available. You got a lot of bad teams that have pretty good edge rooms. There's going to be a lot of trades to be had there and guys available. So I do hope that Poles puts some effort into this year to fix his bad roster management, and especially the Dayo Odunze signing. I'm not worried about cap space or cap room at this point because he made the mistake of signing Dayo. I'm not just going to sit with it, and he shouldn't either. He's got to put his ego aside to get some players in here that actually know how to play football and can rush the passer. You figure out the cap room later. We need this team to perform. We need this team to try to win as soon as they possibly can. Dio Dingbo is not helping you get there. So Kayvon, him being available, Jalen Phillips at Miami Dolphins, some other guys like that could be had for cheaper on the contract value portion. Might be a little bit more expensive in the draft pick valuation there, especially for a guy like Kayvon Thibodeau, but you at least got to see what you can possibly do and what that looks like going forward as we approach Tuesday's trade deadline. So the Bears are making some moves. Hopefully they make some more better moves that will truly improve the team. I am excited to see Austin Booker out there this week. I hope he does play against Cincinnati. I'm so excited to see if he can, make something happen and get to Flacco back there. But we'll see what that looks like. So thank you guys for joining Bears Digest once again. Couple of days away from full injury reports and everything like that going into the next week. I am very scared to see what that looks like. But we will be here with all of it, good or bad. So thank you guys for joining once again. And as always, bear down.